Metals at Axis Securities, joining us this morning. Aditya, very good morning to you. Talk to us about the slightly nuanced picture on each of the names and the updates coming in from the metal space. What are you seeing in terms of a trend? And this before probably we zoom out and have a larger conversation with regard to the way in which metals have moved. So first off, with regard to the updates itself, what are you seeing?
Yeah, as far as the updates are concerned, I think Vedanta had a stable production numbers. Hindustan Zinc slightly lower silver. That was expected because the smelters were not operating on the lead mode. So when they operate on the lead pyrometallurgical mode, they produce more silver. So overall stable state from Vedanta. However, the oil and gas production was slightly weaker there. But on the positive side, aluminium production stood at a good record high. They also started their new Athena and Meenakshi power plant. So stable numbers from Vedanta. And then for, I recall JTL had a weak quarter because two of their plants, Mandi and Mandi Govindgarh, and one more plant is in Punjab, and Punjab was affected by floods. So JTL had a weak quarter. Its peer APL Apollo Tube had a strong set of numbers in this quarter. It recorded almost 8.5 lakh metric ton of steel pipes and tubes. So APL Apollo recorded a good set of numbers. So MOIL has recorded a good set of production, and we have seen since many consecutive quarters, MOIL has been delivering a good set of numbers. Its focus on exploration continues. So that's on the quarter two updates so far.
Interesting. And wondering then, Aditya, what's the reason behind this all-time high that the metal index alone is sitting on? What's been transpiring that move?
Yeah, I think we will have to see a bigger picture here because overall, whatever the macro setup which we have seen recently, number one is the Fed cuts, which we have seen the dollar index has weakened from its level of 108 in the December 24 to now almost below 100. So that has somehow put metals as a space in a very favorable position. So that is number one. Then also if we classify metals into two parts, number one is steel and another is non-ferrous, that is aluminium, copper. So in steel, we have seen that there is a safeguard duty of 12% which the government of India has introduced in the month of April. So that is kind of supporting the downside for steel prices, which has provided stability for the downstream traders. And for the upstream steel producers, it provides a kind of a downside support to steel prices. Also, the spreads were conserved because the coking coal and iron ore prices were almost in a range-bound region. So, although the upside in steel prices we have not yet witnessed, maybe because of the heavy monsoon and extended monsoon, but overall the macro setup with respect to for the entire commodity space was quite favorable. Number two, for non-ferrous metals, especially aluminium and copper. For aluminium, we have seen that aluminium prices have traded almost to now, recently they are in the range of $2,700 per ton. So these prices are very favorable, and most of the smelters will make a good amount of cash flow with these levels of LME. So there is a smelter capacity cap in China of 45 million tons, which is supporting aluminium prices, as well as the LME inventory drawdown for non-ferrous metals for aluminium and copper has also supported aluminium prices. For copper, there was one incident at one of the largest mines in Grasberg mine, so that has supported, that supply disruption has led to support to copper. Similarly, for zinc, the prices are in a supportive region, and silver has also rallied. So based on all these things, different companies have reacted. As far as valuations are concerned, the stocks are almost now trading at one standard deviation above their long-term averages. So further upside from here will actually depend on the favorable macro environment and also the actual rise in the commodity prices, especially for steel. Aluminium has already rallied a bit, but for steel, we have yet to see material upside in steel prices so far.
Do you subscribe to the view, Aditya, that copper is the new oil or the new gold to a certain extent? Do you subscribe to that? And if so, how do you play copper outside of the fact that you can buy it as a commodity? How do you play it from an investor perspective in equities? Hindustan Copper, is that the only play?
Yes, unfortunately, Hindustan Copper is the only play because other copper companies in India like Hindalco and Vedanta, they have a custom copper smelter. So their revenue is basically the LME minus TCRC, and treatment charge and refining charge are almost at a negative level at a spot basis. So for a direct copper beneficiary will be only Hindustan Copper in India because it has an integrated copper mining as well as smelting operations. So as a equity play, we only have Hindustan Copper as a one play. But with the recent rally, the valuations now look slightly stretched. So although on a long-term basis, one can remain invested in Hindustan Copper because they have a good tailwind of expansion projects. They are focusing on exploration and increasing their mining capacity year over year. So that is a good bet, means one can stay invested. However, if one wants to enter at this level, maybe we can wait for some pullback and enter at a lower level, slightly at a lower level.
Aditya, what about Vedanta? This entire demerger value unlocking, do you see still more value on the table where a Vedanta is concerned? Would 473 still be a good buy price for a Vedanta?
Yeah, Vedanta, we think that Vedanta as a this commodity play, because it has a diversified exposure with respect to aluminium, with respect to zinc, silver. It is also one of the very few companies which have a direct silver exposure through Hindustan Zinc, and it has diversified its portfolio in power also. The only weak point is the declining oil and gas fields. But apart from that, its aluminium production will be the major growth driver going forward. It is expanding its aluminium capacity to 3 million tons. Also, at the same time, it is going for a backward integration for its aluminium operations, which will provide cost support to its aluminium smelters. So with that perspective, what we have seen recently is that aluminium prices are at a very strong level of $2,700 per ton. So Vedanta definitely remains a good bet. And with the demerger, we see that there might be a possibility that there might be some value unlocking at the aluminium and power division, especially these two divisions.
Aditya, thank you so much. We'll let you go on that note. Of course, that's the outlook with regard to metals. That entire segment has done extremely well. In fact, all-time highs is what the Nifty Metal is currently sitting at. Let's talk about Pace Digitech, the newest kid on the block. And it's, of course, power management, renewable energy solutions company. The stock is up 4%.